Hello and welcome to another Broken Meeple shelf by shelf video. This is the fourth now that I've done, so the fourth cubby hole, which is this one. You'll have to forgive the curtain. It's not one that I can pull any further than this, so hopefully it won't get in the way if I kind of sandwich it in back there, but you'll just have to accept it for this particular column anyway. So this one's got a few more to talk about. Let's get started. Nice and easy, Jaipur. Who has not heard of this game if you're into games? This is a fantastic, easy gateway level 2-player game, which in this form is now replaced the previous one because of Vincent Dutrait's artwork being gorgeous. But it's so simple. You trade with this market that both of you can work on. You're trying not to give your opponent a favourable market compared to yourselves. You buy tokens, they've got different point values, you trade camels. It's so simple. Best of 3 rounds. So super quick, but every time I go to a dice event, I'm always teaching this one. It's always getting taken off my shelf because even if they don't know what it is, it's small, 2-player only, 30 minutes, and looks gorgeous. It gets people interested. And yeah, this is like one of the most essential games out there for 2 players. You need it. Although, this one's pretty good as well. Onitama, a Dice Tower Essentials line from Arcane Wonders. This is basically what you need if you're a chess fan, like I used to be. So, well, actually, I still am. I haven't played chess in ages, though. But Onitama has this little playmat. You've got your master and students, and very much like chess, you move them in such a way that you capture pieces, and you're trying to capture the opponent's is it leader or master, or get your master in their seat. And you do it by 5 cards. They're shuffled out of a random deck each game. And these cards, you have 2 yourself, your opponent has 2 and 1 in the middle. And every time you move, you use a card, you do what the card says in movement, and then exchange it with the one in the middle. And this keeps repeating. So there's only 5 ways that your guys can move, and this applies for the opponent as well. But you know what cards they have. So you're basing your actions on what they've got as well. And it's surprising how much this one makes you think, despite the fact that the rules are so simple. I can teach you this game in 60 seconds. It's that easy. And yet, it does the job. I wish it was in a better box. This box is annoying, but oh well, can't have everything. It's got 1 or 2 expansions for more cards. You don't have to have them, but you say, if you do, then great. This is a fantastic 2-player game. Whoop. Right, let's go on to another staple game, Sushi Go Party. Sushi Go is fantastic. It's tiny, it's a little box, drafting game, dirt simple, kids can play it, families can play it, my parents understand it, and that's saying something. But if you're going to get the quintessential Sushi Go, you grab the party version. The other one is good, but it's got a set menu and it's portable, so it's good for travel. This one, though, has different menu items. So on here, you've got a board where you put the different menu items on it. You pre-select as the game goes, and then you shuffle the cards based on those sets. And then you can have all sorts. So you have normally what do you have? You have like dumplings, maki rolls, the chopsticks, wasabi, the sashimi, the tempura. I was just playing it on Board Game Arena the other night. So, but here they've got miso soup with temaki rolls and spoons and menus and onigiri and fruit dessert and tofu and green tea ice cream. It's got all sorts of different things with cool ways of scoring points. And it works for anywhere from 2 players all the way up to 8 players. I mean, this is just, it scales well as well, because there's cards in here that suit 2 players, there's cards in here that suit 8. This scales so well, it's unbelievable. It's so simple to teach, and yet it's still good fun. This is another one of those essential games. Like, you just can't go wrong with Sushi Go Party, so of course it's in my collection. Alrighty. Not played this one in a long time, actually. I mean, I still like it. It's still my favourite of the Forbidden series, and I would admit, I wasn't a big fan of Sky, but Desert and Island are still 2 fantastic co-op games that you should check out. But yeah, Desert was my pick of the lot. You're in the desert, you've crashed, you're trying to uncover the locations to find the pieces of your ship and get out. All the while, you're trying not to die by all the million ways you can die in every co-op. So in here, you die by getting buried in sand, you die by running out of water, you die by the storm getting too heavy. I mean, there's all sorts of ways you die horribly, but it's still a light-hearted co-op. It's got fantastic components for what is effectively like a 15 quid game from GameRight. I honestly do not know how GameRight make these games for so little cost, but you got a plastic ship, you put it together and go whee, you play with the little ship because I'm such a child. But it's simple rules, it works. I've played it with the family, even though my dad's not a co-op fan, but works great for new gamers because you don't have to alpha game it. You know, you can just let people do what they like. You've got the different characters, and it's not the easiest co-op to win either, particularly when you up the difficulty rating. So this one is still a really cool game. I just haven't had the need to show it much lately because there's a lot of gateway games now. Although tin boxes, really? Righty, let's leave that one till last. Let's do Time's Up. Very straightforward. It's a party game. It's really good fun, although specifically I only like Title Recall. I don't like the normal Time's Up. Reason being, the normal one has people in it, and if you don't know the person, it's impossible for you to get the clue. You can't break a person's name down very easily. I mean, how do you... it's difficult to do it, especially if it's somebody you've never heard of. I mean, let's say you've never watched, was it Unusual Suspects? I don't know, but Kaiser Soze. Let's say you don't know who Kaiser Soze is. How are you supposed to break that down? If you don't know the guy at all, or what movie or history he's from, how are you supposed to know? Well, good luck. You fail. So Title Recall is all book titles, song titles, movie titles, and stuff like that. And with that, you can break those ones down a lot easier, but they're also more recognizable by people. So it just makes stuff a lot easier. I prefer to play this with less teams, with more people in each team. Because when you have more teams, the game drags on a bit. So my ideal count for this is 2 teams of 3, or 3 teams of 3. I like that number. 3 teams of 4 at a push. I'd rather not play it with 12 people in the first place, but I find that if you've got less than 10, that's ideal, and if you can do 3 teams of 3 or 2 teams of 3, then you're in good stead. At best, maybe you could do 3 teams of 2 if you've got 6 players, but I just don't want to have more than 3 teams. I think it's too many, but still good fun. It's dropped a bit for me though, although this one has seen a fair few plays. As you can see, the box is worn out a bit, but it's a good solid game. It's a good solid party game. It will generate the laughs, I guarantee it, but specifically Title Recall. Right, this is an interesting one. R&R Games Spike. You're probably having heart attacks right now thinking, hang on a minute, this is a train game. Luke, why is there a train game on your shelf? You don't like train games. Correct, I don't like train games. For the most part. But this is not the quintessential train game. I still like Ticket to Ride, now has trains in it. But this one, Spike, is one that surprised me. Because I thought, oh god, it's going to be a train pick up and deliver game. This is going to be pretty naff. Not so, actually. Granted, the components and artwork could use a bit of an improvement, but this is kind of like the Ticket to Ride pick up and deliver game. You have the map with all these places with the different resources on them, and they've got different prices depending on when they're visited. And so every time you connect to one of those, you get money or points based on how much they're in value. But once they're visited, they drop down in value, so you have to wait for them to build up again. So there's tactical opportunities there. But the game itself is straightforward. There's a Ticket to Ride aspect with these cards with tracks on them. So you have to play the different tracks in sets in order to build your route on here. Then you have to set your train going. And your train has to connect to various spots which you've got objectives at the start of the game. You've got a route card to do. But it's very straightforward. The deck basically just has all these cards in it, and as you go through, there's some scoring cards where you score for various reasons, and once the third one comes out, that's it, game over, so it's a variable, unknown endgame trigger, but it's a straightforward game. I think the reason I like it is because of how streamlined it is. Half of it is Ticket to Ride. If you know how to do Ticket to Ride with the card mechanic, then you know how to do the track building in this. The connecting up for resources for this little market up here, straightforward. Your 3 cards at the start, straightforward. It tells you where you can connect and how many points it's worth. And the route card is just get from A to B. Easy. But what I really like about this is you can block each other. You've got different tracks. But the idea is that you can also upgrade your train. So your train can carry more cargo, like the different resources. Your train can be upgraded to go faster when it starts moving. There's different things you can do for it. And upgrading your train costs you points. So you're hurting yourself to make your train better. So there's a cool ooh, how much do I upgrade the train? But then am I willing to lose the points? It's quick. It only takes about, an hour to play the game? It's solid. It's a streamlined game. And to be fair, I don't want long pick up and deliver games. Pick up and deliver is not a mechanic I'm a huge fan of. And I certainly don't want to play it for 3 hours. And I certainly don't want to go near any 18xx game or similar again. Right, I am done with 18x who gives a monkeys. But this one just surprised me. I like it, probably not top 100 material, but I still like to bring this out every now and again. If people are like, well, I've kind of played Ticket to Ride to death, then try this one. Whew. Right, top row of a shelf. I think I'll get on with editing these videos and we'll see how they go, and hopefully by the time I do the next 4, I'll have got the other microphone. But I don't know, maybe this one works. Let me know. Let me know in the comments if the audio is working for you on mobile phone, and maybe we'll just carry on doing it this way. After all, it is easier for me to set it up. So thank you for watching. That's the first row. Only another 11 more rows to go. And the stuff on top. Why did I agree to this? Oh well, hope you enjoyed. I'll see you on the next Broken Meeple video. And remember, it's only a game. Stay safe and stay indoors.